Now I'm about to break down all 7 mistakes so you don't make them. And I'm also going to show you exactly what to do word for word so you can get this right. But first of all, what is grey rocking? Grey rocking is when you become so uninteresting, the manipulators move on. The manipulators don't see you as prey anymore. When you become like literally a grey rock, a manipulator, a predator is just going to walk past. When you're exciting, when you're a shiny, colorful diamond, now manipulators are going to want to grab you, want to hold you, want to speak to you, want to manipulate you, want to use you. So that is grey rocking. Now, this technique, grey rocking, first of all, and I think one of the most important things to say is grey rocking is only designed to work when you're in a non-violent relationship. If you're in a very toxic, violent relationship, please get help. Speak to authorities because grey rocking can make things worse. Grey rocking mistake number 1, thinking that grey rocking is a power move. So this would be something like saying, I'm not going to speak to you because I've got control over you, I've got power over you. Look what I've done to you, you don't own me anymore. I'm just going to ignore you. Now, what does this do? This gives the narcissist something to chase. It makes them want to try harder. This gives them energy. It's giving yourself energy. It's creating more of an attraction. What should you be doing instead? Using grey rocking as a place of safety, taking yourself backwards into that place of safety. This is my safe space. This is the place where I can be alone. I can be free. I can be authentic. I can be me. But it's a place where I can be safe, and primarily, most importantly, safe. Now, an example would be saying, I'm not available right now. If you need me, contact me by email. This is giving very little, but letting them know that there's a way to contact you. There's a way to communicate. It's just being matter of fact. Mistake number 2 is JADing, or this actually stands for justifying, arguing, defending, and explaining. If you're trying to do one of these things, if you're trying to explain the situation, you're defending yourself, if you're constantly arguing, or if you're just justifying why you did something, now this is again engaging in the conversation. This is giving them something. This is giving them what they need. Don't engage by JADing, because every time you do, you're reopening the loop. You're giving them something, opening up more threads for them to latch on to, more reasons for them to argue, to get into a fight. Before you know it, you become entwined in this narcissistic dance. So instead, use the BIFF response: brief, informative, friendly, and firm. It makes life easier. You're friendly, so they know it's okay. You're firm, so they know where your boundary is. You're keeping it brief, so you're not saying more than you need to say. And you're being informative so that the right message, the one that you want to get across, that one thing, is there and they understand that. This could be something like, I'll see you at 30 at the usual place and I'll pick up little James. See you there. It's simple as that. Mistake number 3 is grey rocking as a co-parent. The problem is you're isolating yourself. With a co-parenting, you need to have more skills involved. You need to have more communication with the other person because there is a third person or more involved in the situation. Not only that, if you go totally, I'm not talking to someone, how's this going to look like in court? They're going to use that against you in court. They're going to say, look, they don't return my calls, they ignore me, they don't have time for me. That isn't an ideal situation, especially if you're going to have to go to court. Yellow rocking is when you are friendly, when you speak as if you were to a person that you know, but you're not blocking them out. You're giving them very little, but you're just kind of keeping it very above the level of, this is just friendly stuff. This is just the sort of stuff that you would share with your neighbor. You know, not really going deep, keeping it brief still, but not totally cutting them out. So an example of this could be, thank you very much for letting me know. I'll be there at this time. I'll bring this. If you could do this, that would be great. Appreciate everything you've been doing. Keeping it brief, keeping it friendly, but not making it obvious that you're totally blocking this person out of your life. Mistake number 4 is being inconsistent with your. So if you're doing well a lot of the time and you just ignore, But then when they get to the 5th or the 6th time of asking the same thing, you blow up and you get angry, you get excited, you start to throw a tantrum, you tell them to F off. That is now giving them what they want. You're teaching them that if they press hard enough, if they keep coming back for more, you're going to give them what they want. This isn't helping. This just makes them try harder. To beat this, have more boundaries around what matters. So have one channel. So for instance, just contact me by email. I'm only going to reply on these days or these dates or within this time period. Make it simple that this is all you ever get or this is all you ever do. Make sure you stick to whatever boundaries you have set. If they're trying to wind you up, just say, I've noted everything you've said, let's move on. Something as simple as that, or let's stick to the facts, let's stick to logistics so we can get this project moving further along. If you're working with someone who's trying to wind you up all the time, or even if you're co-parenting, finding a way to just stick to the facts, stick to what's going to move the life along for you and the other person. Mistake number 5 is using grey rocking. If you're in an unsafe situation, you need to run, you need to get out of it, you need to go somewhere where you are protected. While you stay in that relationship, but you try and use grey rocking, they're just going to get more angry, they're just going to get more frustrated, they're just going to use that as an excuse to hurt you. Please be careful. Seek legal advice, speak to the right people, document everything, and have a safety bag so you can leave when you need to. Get that prepared. Make sure you do a lot of planning. Make sure you've got everything prepared so you can get out there when you need to. But in the meantime, keep acting normal. Be yourself. Try and do what you need to do to survive. Mistake number 6, if someone's healthy and they're not trying to manipulate you, but they've upset you, it's best to talk things through. If you grey rock everyone all the time, you just come across as someone who stonewalls, and that isn't good for a relationship. You're not going to be able to build on a relationship if you're constantly stonewalling someone. So make sure you're doing this as a defense mechanism and not as an attack mechanism. If you're using this as an attack mechanism, then you now become the dangerous person in that relationship. Instead of grey rocking someone who's not trying to hurt you, instead let them know that it hurts. Let them know that that's not what you need, and let them know what you do need. But also be assertive and say, if this continues, I'm going to do X. I'm going to leave. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to wait for you to calm down. This gives an opportunity for healthy relationships. But if you're with someone who can't give feedback, who can't have a conversation when they've calmed down, then they are someone that you should be grey rocking. Grey rocking at the end of the day is not for every relationship, it's specifically for high manipulation relationships. And finally, mistake number 7 is having no plan when they try to hoover you back in or bait you back in. They'll find another way. If their way isn't working, you need to have a plan in place ready for this tactic that they're going to use. So they're going to say stuff like, I've changed, I didn't mean to do it, I'm really sorry. Or they're going to say, hey, I've booked us a holiday. They're going to try and love bomb you. They might say they're ill, they need help, try and play the victim. They're going to find a way to get in. They're going to find a way that pulls with your heartstrings. They're going to work out who you are. They know so much about you already. They're going to try and work out the best way that they can get back into your good books or come underneath the radar, let your guard down, so to speak. So the rule here is make sure you've got responses ready to go, and have 3 responses at least, so that you have these responses that you know off by heart. When you've got 3 responses that you know off by heart, you can just say them when you need to. But the other rule of thumb is don't reply straight away, because if you reply straight away when you're giving them that energy straight away, plus also you're maybe not going to be coming at it from a place of logic. You're likely to be coming at a place of emotion because they've tried to trigger you. Have some time, think about what they've said, and choose appropriately to use a canned response. This could be something as simple as, this isn't a topic I'm willing to engage with. I'm not going to discuss the past with you. There is no future between us apart from what we have to accomplish. Stick to the goal. Choose wisely. You know who they are, what's going to wind them up, what's going to be more neutral. So try and keep it as neutral as possible, but make sure it sets you in a tone of, these are my boundaries. Become that boring person who doesn't give them anything to latch onto. Narcissists get energy from hurting you. They want to see you in pain. That's how they regulate themselves. You see, a narcissist, they can't self-regulate, so they're going to wind you up. They're going to hurt you. This pain inside them is transferred to you. This is how they self-regulate, the people closest to them. So if you can be seen as someone who's not really close to them, great work. You're now going to find that this person doesn't come to you to offload and emotionally regulate themselves. And remember, grey working helps you to preserve your energy, helps you to regulate your nervous system. Grey working puts you back in control, and it does it without aggravating the narcissist. This is important, because if you want to reclaim your life, reclaim that potential that you have to go out there and create an amazing life, you need to get rid of the baggage that they are holding onto. You need to get rid of those chains. And those chains can be broken, but they're never going to be broken if you're constantly having this battle. The battle keeps you fighting them. And when you're fighting them, now you're engaged with them. Break off that engagement. Let them go. Grey work them and take back your power. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Leave a comment down below. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video.